Good morning, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. It was a little more than a year ago that we gathered in our backyard for a press conference. Under much different circumstances at that time. The statewide missing in adult system that was passed unanimously by both the Senate and the Assembly had just been vetoed by the previous governor, leaving us without the essential safeguards for the 320,000 New Yorkers living with Alzheimer's disease. When the session got underway in January, two legislators continued to champion this cause and committed to the passage of this crucial law. Those lawmakers, both from Syracuse, understood that the aging population meant increased prevalence of Alzheimer's disease and a greater chance that more individuals with a form of dementia would wander from safety. Assemblyman William Magnarelli and Senator John DeFrancisco introduced bills in their respective houses and shepherded them to unanimous passage. On behalf of the only organization in Central New York committed to the care and cure of Alzheimer's disease, I extend a heartfelt thank you. As a chapter, we are very proud that these legislative champions of this law come from right here in Central New York. Governor Cuomo signed the bill into law in July, and 90 days later, on October 23rd, it took effect. The Missing Adults Clearinghouse, operated by the New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services, makes the Empire State one of 29 to have a statewide system of bringing communities, law enforcement, and media together when a cognitively impaired adult wanders and goes missing. The statistics tell us the full story, though. Every 69 seconds, someone in America develops Alzheimer's disease. And 6 of 10 people with Alzheimer's disease will wander from home at least once. New York has lost far too many parents, grandparents, husbands and wives, brothers and sisters to the devastation of Alzheimer's disease. With an alert system, we can take one more step in keeping our loved ones touched by Alzheimer's disease safe and sound. The Alzheimer's Association Central New York chapter and its sister chapters in New York State see the Missing Adults Clearinghouse as an extension of its safety services. Our Medical Alert Safe Return program has a 99% success rate with more than 20,000 reunions. Our Comfort Zone system uses cutting-edge GPS technology to give families an extra tool in keeping their loved ones safe. Our law enforcement training teaches first responders how to interact and deal with the communication and behavioral changes that accompany Alzheimer's disease. And now the Missing Adults Clearinghouse offers a platform to reach each New Yorker when a person with Alzheimer's disease goes missing. One of those constituents who has used Medical Alert Safe Return is with us today. Eileen Krupka lives in Baldwinsville, and she is the primary caregiver for her father. Eileen found herself in an unfortunate situation of needing to contact the 24-hour Medical Alert Safe Return program when her father wandered away from home. Her fears were set at ease when she was reunited with her father. And when we talked with Eileen about being here today, she told us that she was extremely happy about this alert system taking place and that to be able to assist caregivers like herself. And we thank Eileen for being here with us today in this important event. At this time, I'd like to welcome Assemblyman William Magnarelli to the lectern to make some remarks. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here, and I feel great this morning because the bill is finally passed and signed into law. It's been something that my office has been working on for the past 3 years, and even though people say, it seems like it's too easy, that people would understand how important this would be, and they do. But there's also other things that have to come into consideration, and that's what we learned about over the last 3 years. The administration of a program like this, the criminal justice system and how that has to intertwine with what we're doing, the personal privacy of people that has to be taken into account, and all of those things were taken into account And thank you to the Alzheimer's Association for being there and pushing to make this really happen. I want to thank you and all of your board and members for the support that we had in getting this done. And I know I can speak for Senator DeFrancisco, at least on that point, that we appreciate the support that we got from the community and from the Alzheimer's community to get this done. And what I have for you today is what we call a pen certificate, a copy of the bill actually signed by the governor. And I'd like to present this to you for your
Thank you so much,
chapter.
Assemblyman. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much again. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
And I also want to personally thank Senator DeFrancisco, who led the passing of the bill in the Senate. And we greatly appreciate his efforts to ensure that we had a successful bill that passed into law this past session. So at this time, we'd like to open up the floor to any questions that folks have at this point. As Jared did say, we have opportunities for individual interviews as well. Oh, he just came in? Okay, wonderful.
No, let's all give him a cheer.
Surprise!
There you
go! Perfect timing!
Good morning.
Hi, Senator. Good to see you. Well, with timing with that, that's wonderful. We thank Assemblyman Magnarelli, and at this time, I'd like to welcome Senator John DeFrancisco, who led the efforts of the passage of this bill on the Senate side, and has worked tirelessly to ensure that this bill and what we have as far as the alert clearinghouse, as it is today, is there to help support individuals and family members with cognitive impairments such as Alzheimer's disease. So, Senator?
I went to the wrong place. And, I hate to say that, but I really appreciate being here today, because this was an important bill. And whenever people tell you that Republicans and Democrats don't work together, you can point to this bill as a perfect example. Bill Magnarelli and I have an incredible working relationship. You know, Bill worked at the beginning of this whole process to try to get this bill moving, and asked me to join in the efforts, and together we were able to get this done. And it's important for a lot of people. And I want to also thank the Alzheimer's Association. Kathy and I have been dealing together for years. We tried to get some funding before the funding dried up from the state of New York, and to help in your efforts, because it's a never-ending effort to try to protect people that are just a little bit older than us.
A little bit.
Just a little bit older than us, and we appreciate the problem. So I brought with me, I don't know if Bill...
You did the same thing.
You did the same thing. Well, then
They
you
can
have two.
use it.
That's right.
Then you have two of them.
Yes,
Then you
absolutely.
have two of them. You can have one at home and one here. I just wanted to present this pen certificate to you.
Thank you very, very much, Senator. Appreciate it. Okay, and at this time, we'd certainly welcome any questions that